getting back to Roman Reigns now. People have been asking me, what do I think is the overall problem with Roman Reigns? And I best described it this way online yesterday. And, on Twitter, you only have a couple of characters. You don't have much room to write. So I could do a little extended conversation here. But in my opinion, what WWE has been doing with Roman Reigns the last 4.5 years is like trying to put a square peg in a round hole. All right? No matter how you turn that square peg, it's still going to be square. You could have Roman Reigns, the comedian, suffering, succotash. You could have Roman Reigns, the sympathetic guy. You could have Roman Reigns, the badass, tough guy. Then you could have do public service announcements. And they try all these different sides to Roman Reigns. But no matter which side they keep showing, it's still a square peg trying to be shoved in a round hole. And for 4.5 years, I don't blame WWE for the first year or two. All right. First year, okay, he's new, he's being, singled out from the Shield, the spotlight's on him, let's try this, okay, it didn't work. Let's try this, it didn't work. Let's try this, it didn't work. All right, let's take a step back. Let's repackage it. Let's, regroup, and let's try this way. And then another year goes by, then, all right, this is not working. And fans these days, and I've said this 2 years ago, and I think a lot of people will remember this, and I swear on a stack of Bibles, this is in no way disrespecting Daniel Bryan or anybody that is a huge Daniel Bryan fan. But Daniel Bryan's push and WWE, showing the fans that they were the ones responsible for Daniel Bryan's rise to the promised land. Just like the Fabulous Moolah Battle Royal. You fans spoke out. You're not taking into account that a lot of the fans that spoke out didn't really know the history, didn't understand the history. They're just reacting to what other people were saying and made a quick judgment because they didn't have. And look, I don't blame WWE because they didn't have time to explain it, discuss it, this and that. Snickers is on their fucking back. Hey, we're sponsoring WrestleMania. We don't want the backlash, this heat, people trying to, you need to make a decision now. You need to act on this now. You need to, all right, we'll pull it. But by WWE focusing on, you fans spoke out. You fans showed us what you want. You fans, you open a Pandora's box. And when it came to Daniel Bryan, you open a Pandora's box, and it may not be consciously by fans, but it's subconsciously. Now fans think they could speak out and voice out and really cause a movement to really, push who they want on TV and who they don't want on TV. And with Roman Reigns, it happened with Batista. Somebody said to me yesterday, well, you know what? When Roman Reigns came in, he was right after Daniel Bryan, and, the fans didn't accept him. I'm like, yeah, well, they did that to Batista. And for people that forgot, they also booed the shit out of Rey Mysterio when they realized that he was number 30 and not Daniel Bryan. All right, a lot of people got fucking booed because of Daniel Bryan. But the thing is that WWE fans and wrestling fans in general now are very aware at when WWE pushes someone and pushes them and pushes them and pushes them, and it doesn't feel organic, and people are complaining, yet that person still gets pushed and still gets pushed, and then they try to give this aura that Roman Reigns is no longer in the title hunt, no longer in the picture. But meanwhile, you realize that 7-8 months flies by like that, and they could give the suspension of disbelief that Roman Reigns, you know what, we listened and we're not. And then you realize the next thing you know, there's a clip on YouTube from me from a year ago, and I said, hey everyone, smoke and mirrors with Roman Reigns. Before you know it, he's going to be main event of WrestleMania again. For anybody who think that plans change, it ain't happening. It's exactly what happened. Fans are smart enough to see that, and they see it with Roman Reigns the last 4.5 years. And WWE they're stubborn. They are insistent. They are convinced that Roman Reigns is the guy. Yard, the guy, the man, the guy, the yard. guy, the guy, yard, the guy, the man, the guy. They are not changing their plans for Roman Reigns. They are convinced that sooner or later, the square peg is going to fit in the round hole. And you know what? Will it become a point where fans just give up and say, fine, whatever, fine, you know what, just let them have it, and we'll just, we'll invest our time elsewhere. And they think the fans are going to just give up and soon enough expect it. And the more that this continues, the more people get pissed off at Roman Reigns. I laughed my ass off that people actually thought that this guy was going to get cheered at WrestleMania. He had 1 week when he had some polite applause, and I actually have podcasters bringing up, hey, for all those marks out there that think that Roman Reigns is booed out of the building, did you hear what happened tonight? That's 1 week out of 260. Seriously, it's the overall picture. WWE ain't changing plans. They're just, all right, well, he's a young guy. We'll take our time. We'll just, and that's the problem. Now, of the last 4.5 years, the only time that I actually had like a little bit of personal emotion towards Roman Reigns in a positive way, when it was the anniversary of Rosie's death. And Roman Reigns had commented that he really misses his brother. And you know what? I took a step back as a human being, and I'm like, yeah, I feel fucking bad for that guy, for real. And you hear stories about him with his family. He's like, he sounds like he's a good guy with his family. Problem is, this is an entertainment company. I want to be entertained. Everybody out there wants to be entertained. We are not going to watch someone and get behind them simply because they're a good guy in the real life, all because he misses his brother, all because he's good to his kids, and all because, he was bullied when he was a kid, and all because of this, and all because it's an entertainment company.